Hey everybody, welcome to The Remedy. Hi, I'm your host, Tony ntalleresco, and you're listening to us live on the Micro Effect Broadcasting Network. You can access the show by typing in www.themicroeffect.com. Then click on the appropriate links, the chat room links. Come on in, make friends, get acquainted, network, solve some issues, save the planet, cooperate. Goes a long way in solving the issues and saving the planet when everybody cooperates. I also publish information at other sites, buybluesky.com, gagcanada.com, brian396.com, and other places on the internet as well. I'm on the YouTube. Apparently, I'm a very popular mouthpiece these days with C60. I had another attack on my system, so I'm obviously out on the internet. So if you need to find me for anything, you can go on my YouTube as well. Feel free to access my YouTube. There you may find information that may help you. These are some of the suggestions that you can do to help you get through it. Your food supply. The only way this technology, this nanobiological technology, can access you is if it has some place to go inside of you to access. Nanobiology is both an integration of DNA and a nanoparticulate. Could be carbon, could be silica, could be gold, could be silver, could be any material that's on a nanoscale. Anything that's highly conductive, anything that can be built into an antenna. Initially, Brian396, when he's looking at the research, he's talking about a barium antenna that were being constructed inside of us. Now it's carbon C60 antennas are being constructed inside of us and can be turned into a transceiver. You know what that means? That means you can go and talk to people, and all of a sudden the technology may kick in and spy on you. Whoa, can you imagine that? The land of the free having spyware like this built right into a person's body? Oh, say it ain't so. America, land of the free. Yet this goes on. Canada, another democratic country, that prides itself on its freedom. Imagine that being pumped into your brain, turning it into a transmitter. Whoa. Can you imagine you being with your friends and you start talking about stuff and all of a sudden you get a knock on your door? Hey, that's hate speech. You shouldn't be talking that way. Just because you're poor doesn't mean you're stupid. In fact, some of the most brilliant people I ever met were poor. Because poverty has a way of making you use your brain. Money has a way of making you use your backside. That's just the way it goes. Money makes you lazy, poverty makes you active. So because you're poor and you don't have access to some of the more better foods, I'm going to show you a little tricks of the trade that you can do to help neutralize some of the stuff to keep you again into some kind of affordability. When you're buying poultry, try to buy real birds. Chickens are about 3 pounds, not 6 or 7. When they're that big, that usually means they've been genetically engineered. Now, if that's all they're selling in your area because you're in a ghetto or slum or in some kind of rural area where you don't have access to markets and you're forced to buy the crap they're selling you because they're trying to kill you, okay, this is what you do. You marinate the bird you're buying in some kind of pot with an acid of some kind, vinegar, and you put in there garlic and onion and you let it soak for at least 15 minutes to a half hour so it allows it to penetrate. And what this will do when you consume that bird, the sulfur will bind with those particles and some of those chemicals and some of those toxins and pull that out of your body, offering some protection. You might want to use herbs like bay leaf. You might want to use herbs like rosemary, because a lot of times those are actually grown in a greenhouse, so they'll be a lot cleaner. You can even use the dry stuff. Rosemary, sage, thyme, oregano, marjoram, peppermint. These herbs are extremely powerful. What they do is they will block the hormones, the estrogens in the system that could cause some of the genetic anomalies that we're seeing today in people. Men having man boobs and women having no high beams, and you know, women having backsides 5 times bigger than what they should be, and then they're calling that sexy. That is not sexy. That's genetic damage. That's what that is. So this stuff has in it things like luteolin and apigenin that can help break down some of the estrogenic hormones that you're consuming. Okay, you want to drink black tea and green tea. Both provide estrogen reduction for these hormones that might be in the meat you're eating. When you're buying, let's say you're buying meat, try to buy meat that is lean as possible, not with all the marble and all the fat. They tell you that's all good for you. That's a lot of horse hockey. That's where all the hormones and all the crap is in that white stuff. You know, so try to buy it as lean as you can. Do the same thing. Take it home. Slice up the meat a little bit. Put it in some vinegar. White vinegar. Not apple cider vinegar, because I don't want to put more nano metal in there from the apple cider. Use white. If it's an apple cider vinegar and it's distilled and there's nothing in it, use that. That's fine. Marinate it. It doesn't have to necessarily be a vinegar. You could also use maybe a citric acid, lemon juice, or other acids, ascorbic acids, whatever. What you're trying to do is drive the stuff into the meat that you're eating. The acids will help break down the protein in the meat, so it makes it more digestible. Wow, digestible and protected. Okay? And so then proceed to cook it any way you want. Broil it, bake it, fry it, whatever. You know. But again, let the marination occur for at least 15 to 30 minutes. Now, I would do this with all meat. Turkeys shouldn't be any more than 5 kilos or 12 pounds. That's what a turkey actually looks like. If they're bigger than that, they've been pumped with something. So again, if you can't find a turkey in that range, do the same thing. Thaw it out in some kind, and if you can cut it in portions, let it marinate, let it soak, and then proceed to, again, coat it with all kinds of sulfur-based things, herbs. You can even put in, you might want to even coat it with certain things on the inside, like with sunflower lecithin, which is basically has a phosphorus component that can actually help, again, collect this stuff and pull it, flush it through. When you're drinking with whatever you're eating, in today's time, I would tell you to use a wine. But what I would tell you to do first is freeze your wine. Freeze it. Okay, then get one of those vegetable spinners that spin really fast. Put a handkerchief in the middle of that. Cut off the ice from the wine ice. Put it in there. Fold it over and blend it and pour that stuff out. Now you're going to make brandy this way, but what you're doing now is we're removing the nanoparticles out of the wine. The grapes will be loaded with it. And you're removing all this other material out too. Now you can do this as well with other things that have alcohol. Now if you freeze cherry juice, or if you freeze whatever, nothing much is going to come out. It's going to be bound with the carbon, which is the sugar. It's going to be bound with the ice. Add a little alcohol to it, blend it up, and then freeze it, and then blend it for a good 10 minutes. 10 minutes blend, and then put it in there. Then freeze it. Then draw out whatever. Then you'll have filtered out some of the metal in the juicing, and the juice now will actually have the properties that you're looking for. These are some of the things you can do. Now I will say one more thing real quick before we run out of time. We do win. We do win. I think God's just letting them have a chance to catch up. That's all I think. But we do win. You know, it may seem like a terrible time to be in, and it is a terrible time to be in. I mean, the days of Noah were not good times. But anyway, what we'll have, though, we're going to have a better time of it because we're all awake and we've all seen some of the historical stuff in the past, which will inspire us. Look what Noah did. He built an ark, saved his family. It took him 600 years, mind you, but he was able to do it. So as long as everybody starts working together and cooperating, I'm going to tell you something. It can be done. It can be done. You know, just bear with each other's faults. That's all you got to do because nobody's perfect and we've all been programmed. You know, We've all been programmed. And that's what we're dealing with. You know, wrestle not against flesh and blood, but powers and principalities, principles and programs. Principles and programs is what we're wrestling with, because that's what they put inside of every one of us. Principles and programs. So until we get those principles and programs out of us and get back to the God program, this is why we have to help each other and get through it. Okay? Principles and programs. See ya. All right. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Till then, come up with some ideas. All right. Thanks. See ya.